So, so we canceling Paige? Yeah, 100%. We're canceling my fiance. 100%. Paige is canceled. Everybody. Paige is canceled. I'm gonna tell her that when she gets home today. We're gonna be like, hey. Like as soon as she walks through that door, okay, we're just immediately gonna go, you're fucking canceled. You're fucking canceled. Okay. So this video is, I guess, political minders' final video, or at least that's what it says. It says, Eli Monty keeps trying. Final video. He made this yesterday. And yeah, we're going to. I think this is the response to the democracy video. I believe this is the response to my response to his democracy video. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I love how he got this very uncharitable picture of me. I wonder where he got it from. It's a recent one because it's my recent haircut. So, I mean, he probably didn't do much digging to get it. I honestly forgot about him. Yeah, he got off TikTok, and I think everybody just honestly forgot about his ass. Nobody gives a fuck about this motherfucker. Yeah, we're gonna be doing this the bootleg way, where the sound's gonna be coming out of the TV, and it's gonna be fed into this beautiful Blue Yeti microphone here, because we need funding. Anyways.
So I tried not to ever interact with Eli Monty again because when I joined his Discord, he said I was, quote, harassing him. But then he decided...
Wait, no, what? No. You can't. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. So what happened was, I told Minder this, but he lies all the time in his videos. He lies and tells half truths in his videos all the fucking time. So what had happened was Political Minder joined my Discord server, and the thing about Minder is that to him, everything, he just gives me this vibe that like everything to him has to be an argument. Everything to him has to devolve into like a screaming match or an argument, or at least has to devolve into a debate. But the thing is, not everybody wants to debate everything. Sometimes people just want to vibe and people just want to be. And I could tell that his energy was not going to match the energy of my server. And also the times, because I banned him, Elf. That's why you missed it, because I fucking banned his ass. So when he did join, God, where did my train of thought go? Oh, yeah. So, I've interacted with this motherfucker many times before in the past, okay? And every single time I've interacted with him, the majority of them have been interactions that I would not wish to repeat. So, even like outside of like just flat out debating, like he doesn't understand what lobbying is. He doesn't understand how like capitalism how capitalism very much is one of, if not the most coercive system that you could ever advocate for. And what had happened was, in one of our debates, he flat out lied, and then when I called him out on the lie, he did not go back on it, and he just doubled down on his lie. Not only did he double down on his lie, but also, this motherfucker is the biggest sea lion you will ever fucking meet on the internet. One of, if not the biggest fucking sea lion you will ever fucking meet on the internet. For those of you who don't know what a sea lion is, besides, the thing that lives in the ocean, a sea lion is a person that they come trying to have a debate in good faith, and they keep pestering you about it, but they never have any intention of actually debating you in good faith or being genuine in the debate itself. And every time I've taken the bait from Minder to debate him, he has been disingenuous. Oof. Confrontational even when he is alone. Yeah, literally. Like, I don't, like, he just gives, like, yeah, we have debates in the server, or debates can happen in my server, but for the most part, people just want to vibe, okay? People just want to vibe, and they want to talk about ways in which we can take down demagogues. That's basically it.
Start making videos on me again, and this one was so bad that I had...
Yeah, I made a video because you pretty much, you 100% strawmanned democracy. That's why I decided to make this video, because you strawman democracy.
Come out of retirement and make a rebuttal on it, and I will be trying to go over every point he makes. By the way, his video is titled ANCAPs Are Crypto Fascists. I don't even think he knows what fascism is. I guess he thinks that if he disagrees with it, it's fascism.
But like, are you ever going to... I'm willing to bet that nowhere in this video he actually brings up the definition of the term fascism. I'm willing to make that bet. I'm willing to make that bet. That he never defines in this video what fascism is. And I'll explain if he doesn't. Remind me if I don't. Remind me, chat, if I
The
don't.
majority of people in the South thought slavery was moral back before the Civil War. Obviously, we can all agree that was a terrible opinion, but it was.
Okay, so Minder likes to do this thing that I like to call comfort arguments, okay? Oh yeah, so like I said about comfort arguments. So Minder likes to use these things that I like to call comfort arguments. So they're arguments that he always falls back on because he knows that it'll be very hard for his opponent to argue against them. Or at least he knows that at first glance, like, it's a way for him to kind of, like, you know, seize control of the conversation, because you'll be stunned by the fact that somebody just brought up, like, slavery or sexual assault. I don't know why he's not taking a dunk here, because, like, I'm stumbling over my words so much, because this was back when I was first, like, getting back into making content for, like, YouTube and Twitch streaming and what have you. Like, so I'm stumbling over a lot of my words. Like, I don't know why he's not taking the chance here to do, like, a creative dunk. Like, I would have put in the clip, if I was, like, good at editing, I would have put in the clip of when. See, I'll dunk on myself. I'll dunk on myself. That's how much he sucks. I have to do the dunking for him. In a conversation that in many cases has nothing to do with those things. I mean, yeah, democracy, slavery does have something to do with democracy, but, like, it wasn't I would make the argument that, because Minder's used this on me before when he was talking about, like, you know, tyranny of the majority, which I believe he gets to later on in this video. I would argue that, like, yeah, you could use slavery can be justified in just about, like, every system. Like, as long as especially a system where there is a hierarchy of, like, the rich and powerful versus the poor and underprivileged, there's a very good chance that slavery is going to take place. But I would argue that it's not until democracy is... Also, I 100% stand by this point. My mind has not been changed. My mind has not been changed at all. I 100% stand by this point. Because my point is backed up by fucking history. So, like, I 100%, I stand by this point. It's not until the people's voices are considered that things like slavery get eradicated, or at the very least mitigated, I guess.
So this is the first point I want to go over. Now, if you notice, he doesn't necessarily refute my point. He just states that slavery can be justified in...
Wait, no! I did refute your point! Did I not refute the point? Chat, did I not refute the point by stating that slavery can be justified in pretty much every system? Like... I even... Let's go back. Slavery can be justified in just about, like, every system. Like, as long as especially a system where there is a hierarchy of, like, the rich and powerful versus the poor and underprivileged. Especially in a system where you have the rich and powerful versus the poor and underprivileged. There's a very good chance that slavery is going to take place. But I would argue that it's not until democracy is involved, it's not until the people's voices are considered, that things like slavery get eradicated, or at the very least mitigated, I guess.
So this is the first point I want to go over. Now, if you notice,
like,
it doesn't necessarily refute my point.
Did I not refute? Like, maybe I'm crazy, chat. Maybe we're just crazy. Yeah, I mean, you guys are saying I refuted it, but maybe we're just fucking crazy, I guess.
He just states that slavery can be justified in any system. Not necessarily. My ideal society does not allow that. My society...
Wait, no! Oh, wait, no, let's let him finish.
...is no coercion at all, which means...
No, you can't call yourself a capitalist, let alone an ANCAP, and then say, which is an anarcho-capitalist, so there's no state, no regulation on businesses or anything, it's just capitalism, and then say that your system is free of slavery. That's totally not what's gonna happen, because again, like I said earlier on in my video, that slavery is more likely to happen in systems where inequality, class inequality is present, where you have your rich and powerful versus your have-nots, your poor, your underprivileged people. Like, what is he on? What is he on? If you can't say that you advocate for a system of no coercion where there would be no slavery when you're a capitalist. But then again, Minder believes that because you go and fill out the job application, that means that you're volunteering for the system. Don't like completely forget, completely, okay? Completely forget the fact that you're doing it because if you don't do it, you're going to fucking die. Completely forget the fact, forget the fact that if you don't, that you need certain resources in order to survive. Food, water, shelter. You need these things to survive. And if you don't get them, you're going to die. However, these things are owned by who? The rich and powerful. They're owned by the rich and powerful. Often due to generational wealth, which is built up by events that have happened throughout history. For instance, a low-hanging fruit that anybody can reach for. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are super powerful billionaires that got their wealth and power, from generational wealth. That is how they accumulated the wealth that they have now. They started off in places of insane amounts of privilege. In Minder's world, people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they fuck your wives and your husbands. And they fuck your wives and your husbands, and then take your kids and throw them into the fucking military and make them go kill other poor people, other poor children in other fucking countries, okay? In other fucking poor countries, okay? That's what happens in Minder's ideal society that's free of coercion. First, it will be company towns, then slavery once everyone is dependent on those corporations. Exactly. Yup, not to mention medicine. Also, let's not forget that this is the same guy who says that minimum wage is immoral and that minimum wage should not exist, but that we should not have labor unions that... wait, no, hold on. He actually did advocate for labor unions without understanding that what he was advocating for was a labor union. He said that there would be workers' rights organizations... In one of our conversations that we had on Instagram, there would be workers' rights organizations that would step in and defend the workers' rights should they be abused. And then I responded with, "So you mean a union?" And he said, "Define union." And I was like, and I literally told everybody in the comments, I was like, nobody respond. Nobody say anything. I screenshotted it and I posted it. I posted that shit everywhere. I was like, don't anybody say anything. Don't respond. And everybody's just like, he literally described a fucking union. Like, nobody, and to this day, nobody tell him what a union is. Nobody tell him.
But democracy does allow that. And he also concedes that slavery would be allowed under democracy.
I said that slavery could happen under democracy. Not that it would be allowed, but that it could happen. You can have anything happen under any society. Doesn't mean I think it's necessarily allowed. We have murder that happens under our society, but is that allowed to happen? No. Definition of union, copy, but literally, thank you, nobody, thank you. But like, I love this. I love this so fucking much. Like, it just writes itself. The content at this point just writes itself. And the thing is, he might get a decent dunk on me later on in this video, because sometimes I do say and do stuff that like, where like, you know, I didn't think long or hard enough about that position. So like, maybe I'm waiting for the dunk. I'm telling you, there's got to be at least one dunk. I'm gonna give him one dunk.
Majority opinion. Before the gay rights activists, the majority of people thought being gay was a mental disorder, and now we see that as false. You see, more and more individuals can believe a certain way.
Right. You know what the funny part is about that? Is that like when Minder brings up, I get this feeling that when Minder brings up things like social issues, he really does not actually give a fuck about any of these social issues. He only ever uses them because, and this is the thing that like libertarians always do. Libertarians and right-wingers in general always fucking do. The majority of the time, not all of them, but like the majority of them will only ever bring up social issues. Will only ever bring up social issues of marginalized groups when they can use them to forward an agenda, like an anti-state agenda, which Minder and other libertarians do all the fucking time. Oh, you want to stop the mistreatment your people are experiencing at the hands of the government, mainly white people? Get rid of the government instead of, you know, getting rid of fucking white people. I'm kidding. Let's not get rid of white people. I was kidding. Instead, you know, stopping racism by teaching people that they should not be fucking racist, by acknowledging that there are certain that we might have to pass policies that we might have to pass governmental policies that some of you white folks might not like, such as reparations and shit, that will make things, that will bring about more equal opportunities for people of color, for marginalized groups in America. But they never want to talk about that. Yeah, weaponizing. Literally, yeah, they weaponize it. He needs definitions for most of the stuff he talks about, which is ironic. Yeah, 100%.
What we should do then is we should ensure that we are continually adapting as a species, or not even as a species, as a society. That we are continually adapting, continually growing, continually progressing, continually learning new things as a society, and that we should be welcoming to these new findings and be welcoming.
Even though I'm stumbling over my words here, I stand by this point 100%. I am a very pro-education type person, okay? I really do believe, a motto that I live by is exposure eliminates bias, okay? I stand by this, because it wasn't until they were educated that they stopped doing things like believing that gay people were subhuman aliens that came from the deepest pits of hell or some shit. Whatever.
Coming to new discoveries instead of just, shunning out these discoveries and engaging in a form of anti-intellectualism.
This doesn't really refute my point at all. First, it does not matter if
Wait.
people are intelligent or not.
No.
No.
It does refute your point. You just made a blanket point that, like, before because he made the point about education. He made the point about, like, because I said, like, I brought up, wait, hold on. Is this the right video? Because I know this isn't the only video that he's made in response to me. I'm trying to make sure I don't have my videos crossed. Anyways, he made the point that, like, about, like, science or whatever, that, before, there used to be a time where, scientists thought gay was a mental disorder. And I'm like, yeah. So what we should do is we should keep learning. We should welcome more learning. Does he not understand what a refute is? Does he not understand what that means? He drank way too much of the Kool-Aid. Most people thought gay was a mental disease before advocates showed up. Is he not aware that humans existed for millennia and that gayness for all that time? Yeah, that's another thing. That only really happened in America. If you look throughout, like, all other cultures and, like, through, like, mythos and shit, like, gay was everywhere. They did not give a fuck what was in your pants or what you liked. It was, you know what was very prevalent back then? You know what was very prevalent? Assault. Assault was very prevalent back then. And it wasn't until people were like, hey, assault is bad regardless of who does it, that people stopped assaulting people. Or at least tried to stop assaulting people. I'm talking on my ass with that one. But you get what I mean, right? You guys get what I mean, right? Like gay has been around forever. It isn't until white people, white Americans, started to actually look into shit and go, hey, wait. This gay shit might be kind of pog. Like, CRT might trigger them. Be careful. Yeah, 100%. It's gonna trigger it. Like, shout out. You know what we should do? We should go over. You know what we should do today? We should go over Ben Politics's TikTok page, because he has a video up of him stating that CRT is communism. He calls himself. He says that he's non-reactionary, but he has the most reactionary take about critical race theory that anyone could ever fucking make. CRT is communist.
That the amount of people does not determine if something is right or wrong.
What?
Plus, I could use this logic to justify.
I didn't say that the amount of people determines whether or not something is right or wrong. All I said is that people, in general, should be more welcoming to new ideas and new thought processes. What does he mean? What does he mean? What does he mean? What's going on? I'm losing it. I'm losing it in a laughter sort of like sense. That's how I'm losing it. Ah!
Guys, if we teach the king to do good things and make sure he doesn't hurt anyone, it could work. Like, you see how that doesn't really make any sense? This means that
But you compared one person who has all the power, who's probably full of themselves, who doesn't want to listen to the majority. You compared that to people in general and like an entire fucking society, an entire society that is governed by the people. Do you see how there's no correlation there? Do you see? Am I making sense, chat? Am I making sense? Like, and don't just say that I'm making sense to make me feel better. Like, explain yourself. Like, excuse me, sorry. Am I making sense here? Like, or am I the irrational one in this case? I feel like I want to make sure I'm not the irrational one in this case, and I didn't mishear him, because I that happens to me quite often, where like I mishear people, and I like stumble over their shit, like, and that's on the ADHD and having selective hearing. God, Mountain Dew makes me belch like a motherfucker. Oh my god, this is rude. He doesn't understand. I don't think he understands like nuance and shit. I don't think he understands it.
If you try to have a say in what the state should do, it ultimately does not matter if the majority votes against what you want. So the government is...
Exactly. Because say it with me, class. There are people like this guy with very bad and shitty opinions. Exactly.
I stand by that. I 100% stand by that, by the way. 100%. Because that's how democracy works. We look at everybody's ideas and we go, okay, which one's going to better society the most? And then we typically go with that one. Which one's going to better the majority and the collective? And we typically go with that one.
So right here, he just conceded that the majority can rule you if you have shitty opinions. Just wanted to throw that in there. It's not control.
So, wait! What kind of... What? What is... Don't tell me that's his argument! Don't tell me that's the... Don't tell me that's the argument! Honestly, I thought this video would be harder to make, because I thought he would actually maybe have some good points here, but I have to play that back. I have to play that back.
Against what you want. So the government is...
Exactly. Because say it with me, class. There are people like this guy with very bad and shitty opinions. Exactly.
So right here, he just conceded that the majority can rule you if you have shitty opinions. Just wanted to throw that in there. It's not...
Also, this is very big coming from the guy that's like, always wants to bring up, like, you know, slavery, and wants to bring up sexual assault and other kinds of things. I'm just throwing that out there. You can do with that comparison or whatever you want to call it. You can do with that what you will. The fact that there was no argument, he said, you just conceded that the majority can rule over it. I literally said, that's my point. That we should rule over people if they have shitty opinions. Yes, why shouldn't we? Hitler had a very shitty opinion. He should have been ruled over, but he didn't. He was a dictator. Yes, he was also elected, but he also was a dictator. And it was because of fascism and dictatorial power that he was able to get to where he was. Like, my God. Majority rule for the win. 100%. The majority can rule you if you have shitty opinions. I don't understand what sort of point that is. Like, because the thing is, okay, so people who side with Minder, do you think that people who think that, like, black people are subhuman and should be enslaved? Because, again, he's the one who always reaches for the comfort argument of, like, slavery and shit, which is ironic considering he's a capitalist, and capitalists, they always try to say that they're not pro-slavery when they literally are slave masters. Do you guys think that people who believe that black people or people of color in general are inferior and should be enslaved, do you really think we should be hearing out those people's opinions? Because I can guarantee you there is only a small minority of people in America who actually believe that. Should we hear them out, or should we just throw their shitty opinions and them in the trash? I say we throw them and their shitty opinions in the trash.
Controlled by everyone. but the majority of the people. A better way to help people understand is putting it like this. In a monarch, one person holds all the power. The system would allow him to do whatever he wants. A lot of people would agree that is tyranny. But when you switch to a democracy, all you do is shift the power from one individual to the majority of the people. The tyranny is still there. It's just more people have a say in this tyranny. Now,
No, I don't agree with that, and here's why. So, the thing about democracy, or at least the thing about a true democracy where everybody's voice is heard and what have you, everybody can, like, throw their ideas out there, and we all can, like, vote on whether or not we like that idea or, what have you. But the problem with that, well, not the problem. The thing with that is people like Minder will only say tyranny of the majority is only stated by people who are sore losers, basically. Their ideas have been considered. It's just that they're dog shit, so everybody said no. That's why. Like, people like Minder.
100% stand by this opinion. Stand by this. I stand by this point. He is yet to get me to concede or fall back or walk back on a single point yet. He has yet to get me to do this. And we are 4 minutes and 51 seconds in, and this is a 13-minute video. Almost a 14-minute video. And he has yet to get me to walk back on anything I've said in this video. If anything, I've just doubled down and repeated the shit that I've said. Like, he has yet to get me to concede any point. Oh, and people like that get the wall. I don't think he understands how monarchy works. I don't think he gets it either. Racists get the wall in my opinion. Yeah, 100%. They should. Racists should.
And if they had their way,
again, he does not attack my point. He just commits an ad hominem fallacy. My point is that the difference between a
Wait, no, I didn't bring up an ad hominem. I literally did refute your point. I said that I disagree with the whole tyranny of the majority thing, because tyranny of the majority is only brought up by sore losers. You made the point, Minder, that tyranny of the majority, that the tyranny is still there when you switch from a monarchy to a democracy. It's just that more people now hold that tyranny, which does not make sense. Like, really at all. That does not make sense. And all I said was that tyranny of the majority is only considered by people, or is only stated by people who have opinions that were dog shit, that were already considered by everyone, or by the collective as a whole, and were deemed to be unfit for the society that we were trying to build. Gift him a dictionary for his birthday. I need to. 100% I need to.
Monarch and a democracy is that the power shift from one person to the majority of the people, and how there is still tyranny. It's just shifted to more people. And all he says is that people who say this are, quote, sore losers. That is it. There's no refutation at all. Well, if the majority...
No, they are sore losers. Case in point, the fucking, what is it? The January 6th insurrection is a very good example of this. Those people were pissed that their president lost, even though when you compare them to the rest of the population, they're a distinct minority. Those people were mad that their ideas were considered. Everybody said fucking no, and so they were sore losers, and they stormed the fucking Capitol. Stop me if I miss. Stop me when I miss. Stop me when I miss. Like,
wanted to kill the minority. Technically, democracy allows that. Now, a lot of people might say that the system might have a constitution in place.
So, technically, yes, he is correct. But the thing that I would, the thing that I would suppose is that when everyone's voice is considered, that kind of shit really does not happen. Like, in lots of communal societies, or societies that have, like, shifted away from capitalism and what have you, a lot of it is just, like, togetherness, or where not even just shifting away from capitalism, but being more democratic, and where everyone's thoughts and feelings are considered and what have you. Shit.
I stand by this point. Another point that I made in this video that I'm not going back on. I stand by it. Because again, this is shit you can see throughout the world and throughout fucking history.
Like that actually.
Like, do these capitalist stand bros in America, do these people not understand just how crazy they look to, like, the rest of the fucking world? Do they not understand that? Especially, like, the poor hyper exploited countries of the world. Do these people not understand how stupid and not even stupid, but just how crazy, like batshit insane, the rest of the world views these people? Do they not understand that? Because whenever a society or whenever a country liberates itself from imperialism, right? They don't go, well, we kicked out the capitalists, let's go back to capitalism. They don't do that. What they do is they typically go to more Marxist sort of societies. They turn towards socialism. They turn towards communism. They turn towards those kinds of societies. You know why? Because capitalism is what they had under the empire that they were subjugated under. Like, and then these people, these privileged motherfuckers like Minder that live in America, are like, you know, I really want unfettered capitalism. I want the government to not be able to tell me that I can't force my workers to work in unsafe and really shitty working conditions. I really want that. I would like it to where if a worker dies on my fucking factory floor, I can just grind them into biomatter and fuel the next machine. Fuel one of my machines. Like, I just don't want the government, you know? I just don't want the government in my business, you know?
Does not happen. But shit like that does happen happens a lot more in totalitarian societies, totalitarian far-right societies, where, and you know, fascist societies, that kind of shit is more likely to happen.
There he just conceded that democracy allows murder to happen, and he wonders why I'm against it. And Eli, even if...
What did I say at the beginning of this reaction? Like, literally, I said that at the beginning of this reaction, that murder could happen in a democratic society. Anything could happen under any society. See, the problem here that Minder and these ANCAPs are looking for is that they're looking for a society that is paradise or utopian in nature. The thing is, these kinds of things, if you've read Ray Bradbury, you'd understand this. Ray Bradbury, the GOAT, you'd understand that these kinds of societies do not exist because society, in and of itself, by nature, is a coercive thing, regardless of what society you implement. Regardless of if it's a communist society, a socialist society, a capitalist society, a fascist society, whatever you want to implement, society by nature, because of the fact that it relies on people to run and to function, it is compulsory. It is coercive. There is a coercive element to it. It's just that we can implement societies that are more or less that are more or less coercive. I would like to implement the society that is less coercive by getting rid of the coercive elements through capitalism. By making people like this don't understand how we can use laws to make people more free. We can use regulations to make people more free by limiting the power of a more oppressive and dominant ruling class. He's the type of capitalist that is the reason we need to get rid of capitalism. Yeah, like literally. And the thing is, not every capitalist is a bad person. I don't think every capitalist is like a horrible or a bad person necessarily. In many cases, I understand that like we live and exist under capitalism. And like in order for you to enact under this sort of society, a more socialist or communist sort of company or what have you, it takes a lot of work, and a lot of people don't want to do that work. But like, I'm down for capitalists that are willing to acknowledge that they have privilege, that they have power, and then use that privilege and power to better the lives of those around them. The problem is, a lot of capitalists don't want to do that. So we have to go ahead and force their hand and implement things like socialism and communism or mainly socialism, and workers seizing the means of production to prevent the exploitation by other more powerful people in society. Also, billionaires should not exist. I can't really think of an ethical reason as to why they should exist. That's why somebody should just be able to like turtle on top of money like that.
If there were more voices in it, it does not matter. Look what happened in U.S. history with slavery. The South fought.
Oh my God! He goes back to slavery, and you know what he's about to make? You know what point he's about to make? You know what? Let him make the point.
Hard for it. They genuinely believed slavery was a moral thing to have and voted for it. And Eli, if you
No, they did not. A lot of these people and you would know this if you actually were taught U.S. history, but Minder literally lives in Texas, so like his education on these types of subjects is fucking abysmal. He would know if he actually looked into slavery instead of just using it as a comfort argument, like I said earlier. What he would know is that a lot of the people who practiced slavery believed that it was wrong. They knew that what they were doing was wrong. They could tell that what they were doing was wrong. And this is where religion comes into play with slavery. A lot of these people used Christianity and used religion to back up their slavery and the mistreatment that they were doing to innocent people. Also, he's completely like not acknowledging and not seeing the people that were enslaved and how they were under tyranny, not of democracy, but of authoritarianism. Slavery is authoritarian. It's not democratic. It's authoritarian. Just because a couple of rich white dudes voted on it doesn't make it democratic. You just have like a couple of figurehead dudes that are agreeing, hey, we're gonna enslave these motherfuckers. Like, God, he's an idiot. And it isn't until, like I said, I think I said that earlier in the video he's responding to, right? It isn't until the voices of all of the people are considered that things like slavery are eradicated. It isn't, or at the very least mitigated. It isn't until everyone's voice is heard that things like atrocities like that are stopped. It isn't until actual democracy. Oh my God. We really need to like invade Texas. We really need to invade Texas. Oh my God. Yeah, what a shocker. Yeah, justification. Thank you. This is why I have you guys here, because like you guys say the words that I like forget to say. Thank you so much. Thank you so freaking much. What else did you guys say that I missed? The hell, I work for a bank that runs itself like a co-op. Me and you have talked about it on Twitter. Oh yeah, that's right. We did talk about that. Yeah, that works itself as a co-op. Yeah. Texas, where textbooks call slaves immigrant workers. Yeah. We need to just invade Texas. 100%. The North we need to invade Texas for legal reasons and all intents and purposes. That's a joke. It's a joke.
If you react to this, don't try to dodge my point and how I use slavery as an example. Attack it instead of complaining how I used it. Example.
I am attacking it. I did attack it. You don't understand. You don't understand the things that you're using. You don't understand them. Because again, they're comfort arguments used to stun lock. You don't understand where you... Okay.
The Second Amendment was meant to keep a power balance between the state and the citizens. Except over time, people who are anti-gun have been trying so hard to change it. From the wording of the Second Amendment...
Wait, no, you can't... No, don't misrepresent things like... Don't misrepresent gun control, too, in a video. No, dude, it's not... People... Listen. If you actually think that your Magnum is gonna protect you when the SWAT team is knocking your door down and they have shields and body armor and all kinds of shit to, protect themselves from you, and that, makes them pretty much a mini military. Like, just throw the gun away. Just throw it away. You're clearly delusional.
So again, he does not even attack my point. I see a trend, but the point...
Actually, hold up. I was not paying attention. I was looking at chat. What did he say?
Body armor.
Honestly, I zoned the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie. I zoned out for a hot minute. I zoned out for a hot minute. Is anybody else zoning out, or is it just me? I zoned out for a hot minute.
Oh, don't misrepresent things like... Don't misrepresent gun control.
Hold on. We need to go back farther.
U.S. history with slavery. The South fought hard for it. They genuinely believed slavery was a moral thing to have and voted for it. And Eli, if you react to this, don't try to dodge my point and how I use slavery as an example. Attack it instead of complaining how I used it. Example, the Second Amendment was meant to keep a power balance between the state and the citizens. Except over time, people who are anti-gun have been trying so hard to change it. From the wording of the Second Amendment...
Wait, no, you can't... No, don't misrepresent things like... Don't misrepresent gun control, too, in a video. No, dude, it's not. People, listen, listen. If you actually think that your Magnum is gonna protect
You literally responding to his points, him cutting back and saying you didn't address his points, same thing through the whole video. Yeah, literally, he said there's a pattern. I'm noticing a pattern. We're noticing a pattern, Minder. Yeah, there's a pattern here, alright.
you when the SWAT team is knocking your door down,
I love you guys. I love you guys so fucking much, you know?
and they have shields, and body armor, and all kind of shit to, protect themselves from you, and that, makes them pretty much a mini military. Like, just throw the gun away. Just throw it away. You're clearly delusional.
So again, he does not even attack my point. I see a trend. But the point he essentially made was that since these people have more guns than you, we should just not have guns. What logic is that? He's actually giving a reason why we should be able to have guns. Because this...
No, that's not... So he's leaving out context here. That's not what I was saying. What I was responding to his point about gun advocates wanting to take guns away. Maybe I should have stated, I don't think we should take guns away. I don't think we should take guns away. I think we should have the right to bear arms, not even necessarily to protect ourselves from the military. I think we should have arms to protect ourselves from other crazy motherfuckers, not necessarily the military. But I do stand by the point that I made in the video of, if you really do think that your gun is going to protect you from the government. There we go. If you think your gun is going to protect you, if you think your Magnum is going to protect you from the military or the government, just throw the fucking gun away. But that's the thing. That's what happens with, and he's purposely not interacting with the underlying argument here, which is that a lot of pro-gun advocates, whenever we talk about how we need to talk about gun control and gun culture, which is what I think would be a more effective point to talk about, is like limiting the NRA and shit. Which perpetuates gun culture, which perpetuates the idea of the lone gunman, which perpetuates school shootings and mass shootings in general. He's ignoring the point that we all bring up that, he's ignoring the point that the gun rights advocates bring up every time we talk about how like a mass shooting or how like a bunch of kids just got mowed down in a fucking school. And that is, he says, well, we need guns. They always say we need guns to protect ourselves from the government. And it's like, if you really think that that's the reason why we need guns, just throw your fucking gun away. Now, if you think we need guns to protect yourself, for innocent people to protect themselves from other, like, crazy people, or to protect themselves from, like, ravenous creatures in the woods, that's different. We can talk about that. But if your whole framework, if your whole rebuttal to, parents concerned and parents crying because their kid got fucking obliterated in school by a gunman, your whole rebuttal to that is, we need guns to protect ourselves from the military. Please, shut the fuck up. You make gun rights advocates everywhere look horrible. Please, shut the fuck up. Under no pretext should arms and ammunition be surrendered. Any attempts to disarm the people must be stopped by force if necessary. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's why I said we need to talk about the culture of guns, not necessarily the guns themselves. Wait, what was that? Hold on. I used to debate ANCAPs all the time. That's how they argue. That's why I just started roasting with talking points when they do it instead. Yeah. The Second Amendment does not word itself into people having weapons meant for literal war. True. And they always miss that point. They always miss that point. And even if we do have guns, there's many instances of when just owning a gun gets you killed by the government. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
State has
See, like, almost every black person killed by fucking cops.
shields and body armor, and they are invading your house. We should be able to defend ourselves in the most efficient way possible.
Maybe I didn't. Okay, like I said, I'll give him one dunk. This is the dunk I'm gonna give him. The one dunk I'm gonna give him in the video. Okay, I think honestly, because I made that video like what, a month or two ago, so I really don't remember all that I said in it, and I think he's clipping me out of context here. And if he's not, then fine, give him the dunk. But like I said, I don't think we should take guns away anyway. But
think, Eli?
He was like, you know, people shouldn't say that the government can just steamroll us because they can't. It's like, no, the government can. Do you have access to drone striking technology or drone strike technology?
So at this point, I'm not even really talking to Minder. I'm just talking to the point of, I'm just talking to gun advocates and the point of, like, you know, and people that are anti-gun control, basically.
Do you have access to that? No? Then shut up, okay? If the government wanted to, they could snipe me right now, and I would have, like, no say in it. I would have no way of protecting.
I stand by this. Still, I stand by that. The government could snipe me right now and I'd be dead. Does it make me scared? Yeah, hell yeah. But you know what's not going to help me? What's going to prevent me from getting sniped? Me owning a handgun that I keep on me at all times. That's not going to help me not get sniped, because I'm getting fucking sniped. The good guy with a gun in Colorado chased off the person who shot the cop, but when the cops showed up, they shot the good guy with the gun. Is that something that actually happened? They got tanks and jets coming after me. Let me get my guns.
Protecting myself. He's like, oh my god, let me go grab. Oh, I'm already dead. I'm already freaking dead. Like,
that actually happened? No! No, dude, you have to link it in chat. Hold on, you gotta link that shit. You gotta link that shit. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look it up on YouTube. Because my computer is not gonna let me. In my computer, you guys know. You guys know I'm on the struggle bus, okay? You guys know I'm on the struggle bus with my equipment, okay?
This whole idea that a lot of people like to bring up, that like, oh, our guns protect us from the government, is a false one. Motherfucker, do you have planes? Like, do you?
Yeah, there have been a few instances where the good guy with the gun, where the good guy with the gun was killed. Yeah, there have been.
Like, planes with.
I just want to know the Colorado thing where they legitimately like pulled up and shot Home Dog, like, cause damn.
On them. Do you have tanks? Do you have armored vehicles? No, you don't? Well, guess what? The government can steamroll you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So because these...
My Cash App, go ahead and it's in my bio on TikTok. It's in my bio on TikTok. Just $, I think it's $, all Sunday. Yeah.
Groups of individuals are more powerful than us. We should just not be able to defend ourselves? Eli, I believe we should be able to have drone technology, quote, planes with guns on them, and tanks. The worst part about it is, even if you do not want to participate...
Wait, are you saying that individual people should be able to have that shit? Please do not tell me Minder is one of those idiots that believes that we should give everybody a nuke. For the love of God, please. Please. No. 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 Maybe I'm misinterpreting him here, and I'm willing to bite that bullet. Get bullet? I'm willing to bite the bullet if I'm misinterpreting him here, like 100%. Like if I'm misinterpreting what he's saying here, I'm 100% willing to bite the bullet. But please do not tell me that this motherfucker is one of them people who believes that we should give everyday civilians like super powerful weapons. Like, I honestly think that if you get to a point where in your society you need weapons like that, where you need weapons like that in everyone's hands, you went wrong somewhere. You went wrong somewhere. There is something else wrong with your society. If you literally feel the need, if you literally feel like everyone needs to have super powerful weapons like that. I'm sorry. Maybe some other people like Minder might disagree with me and call me crazy, but that something like that, it just feels off. Like, imagine people on the people on January 6th, imagine them having access to those kinds of weapons. Just imagine it for a second, okay? Imagine it. Also, again, I'm willing to bite the bullet if I am misrepresenting what he's saying here, but I get the feeling I'm not. I get the feeling I'm not.
Even if you do not want to be a part of the government, it will still be shoved down your throat. Which I guess that is in every kind of system, but it just adds insult to injury.
So you understand? So you're the one who conceded. Oh my God! You're the one who literally conceded my. Did you want that linked here or in Discord? Can you just link it here? That's fine. Just link it here. I'm gonna Google search. I'm gonna YouTube search it. Just link it here.
By saying you have a say in it. I think this picture.
But again, 4 of 5 citizens love democracy. Okay, but like, why doesn't this guy why doesn't this guy like democracy? Like, why are, like, again, what's the context here? Why are they beating him? Are they beating him because, like, because he's a slave and he's, you know, and he's deemed as, like, subhuman, which is wrong? Or are they beating him because this guy is the ruler who, like, was oppressing these 4 people for generation upon generation?
I love how he's trying to add context to try justifying the person getting beat in the picture. Eli,
Because context is important. Would you not say that context is important? These are the same motherfuckers that whenever we talk about police brutality and how black people are, and how innocent and unarmed black people are getting gunned down by cops, these are the same motherfuckers that want to, like, dig for fucking context. Do not, oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Yes, thank you. Thank you, nobody. See, nobody is the MVP. Thank you for putting my Cash App in chat. But, like, hold on. I gotta play that back. I know this video is long enough as it is, but I gotta play that back. Because that was too rich. That was too fucking rich. That was too fucking rich.
this picture.
But again, 4 of 5 citizens love democracy. Okay, but, like, why doesn't this guy like democracy? Like, again, what's the context here? Why are they beating him? Are they beating him because he's a slave and he's, you know, and he's deemed as, like, subhuman, which is wrong? Or are they beating him because this guy is the ruler who, like, was oppressing these 4 people for generation upon generation?
I love how he's trying to add context to try justifying the person getting beat in the picture.
Again, yes, because context matters. There's a reason why I brought up the ruler getting, you know, beaten, because this is shit that has happened throughout history where people have gotten fed up with the ruling class and they've gone and beaten them to death or just went and beheaded the motherfuckers. Like, 240p right now? What do you mean? What do you mean? Am I having bad troubles? What do you mean? Why would we not want to know the context of some random aspect? Exactly. And this is why I said that, like, when I brought up the thing about black people and people of color getting, like, beaten by cops and getting murdered by cops for no reason, because context literally, these are the people that always bring up, that always want to go, well, what's the context of why this person's being beaten? What's the context of why this person's being beaten? What's the context? And it's like, yeah, maybe somebody shouldn't be beaten, but at the same time, like, what's the context of it? We do need to know the context of this shit. So don't sit here and say, well, context doesn't matter right now, when you guys are the same motherfuckers, okay? The same motherfuckers that whenever, am I right or am I wrong, chat? Am I right or am I wrong? Aren't people like this? Aren't these ANCAPs, these libertarians, the same motherfuckers that whenever a person of color gets the shit beaten out of them by a cop, the first thing they want to do is try to find some sort of context to justify the beating from the cop. But now all of a sudden, he wants to go, context doesn't matter. He thinks he's slick, but he's not. Why did he... we are 9 minutes and 49 seconds into this video, and he only got me to walk back, and I'm putting it in quotation marks because technically I didn't walk back. I just said I bite the bullet on it or whatever. He's only been able to get me to bite the bullet, like, once in this video, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, why in this video we're at almost 10 minutes, and this video we've got, like, basically 3 to 4 minutes left in this video. What the fuck is going on? Like, what am I watching right now? And this is why, by the way, that I don't like Political Minder, because he's inherently dishonest, he's extremely disingenuous, and he always does this to try to win the argument. He never, even when he says he's coming from a place of good faith, he never does it. Ever. Never does it. Never fucking does it. Because he knows that if he were to ever come from a place of good faith, he would lose the fucking argument. Also, are we ever going to get that definition of fascism? I didn't forget. Actually, I did. I just remembered. But
Eli, the point of the picture was to show that you will still be a part of the system even if you say no. The point flew right over your head.
like, you know why? Because there was no context. There was no fucking context to the fucking picture. It was just 4 out of 5 people love democracy. Again, the one guy getting beat, if he's the ruler, if he's the monarch that's getting beat, the monarch doesn't like democracy. Monarchs typically don't like democracy. Monarchy is oftentimes antithetical to democracy. Is anybody else losing their shit right now, or is it just me? Actually, I'm not even losing my shit. I'm losing my shit at how comedic this is. I'm actually not mad, because I actually think this is very funny. I think this is very, very funny. Like, oh my god.
How do we view it?
Also, the point didn't fly over my head. This is the point he's been trying to make throughout this entire video. And it just boils down to, where? I don't get what I want. Where? Why can't I... Also, for the record, this guy, him and Benjamin Politics, both believe that we should repeal the Civil Rights Act. And they believe that we should repeal the Civil Rights Act because it forces integration. Completely disregarding and foregoing completely, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess forgetting the fact that white flight is a thing that exists today. I know because where I deliver for my day job, I predominantly deliver to a predominantly white suburb, and the suburbs were able to happen predominantly because of white flight. And also the fact that white people are the stark majority in this country, yo. Like, you can easily find, it is much easier for you to find an all-white or predominantly white neighborhood in this country than it is for you to find a predominantly black or POC neighborhood. Just saying. And I'm just throwing the whole Civil Rights Act thing out there with this whole being anti-democracy shit, okay? Yeah, that's why context matters. I just wanted to choke elderly people, and everyone else won't let me. This is tyranny. Government is forced onto me. Yeah, and this is also giving me the same vibe of, like, you know, I don't want to wear a mask.
God. Well, I believe Murray Rothbard describes it perfectly. In his book, Anatomy of the State, it describes how in democracy, the phrase "we are..."
This is an appeal to authority fallacy, which Minder also accused me of in one of our many talks about abortion. This is an appeal to authority fallacy.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
I love how this is the one... this is the one clip... I'm gonna just give it to him. Let him have his fun.
What? How is citing a book that best sums up what I am trying to say an appeal to authority fallacy? Do you even know what appeal to authority fallacy is? An appeal to authority fallacy is a common type of fallacy or an argument based on unsound logic. When writers or speakers use appeal to authority, they are claiming that something must be true because it is believed by someone who's said to be an authority on the subject.
Is that not what he just did, though? Chat, is that not what he just did by citing Murray Rothbard and not going any deeper into his argument or shit? Is that not what he's doing here? Is that not what every single one of these debate bro, pro-capital, these debate bro, pro-capitalist, ANCAP stands do all the fucking time? Is, because you know who's notorious for doing this shit? Ben Politics. Ben Politics will do this shit left and right all the fucking time. But the second, and just these people in general will do this all the fucking time. But the second you do it, even if it's like very minor and not even like the whole crux of your argument, they will dogpile you on it. But they sit there and do this shit all the fucking time. I've literally had these people make video responses to me where all they've done is cite other economists and motherfuckers who they believe to be authorities on the issues that they're talking about. Literally half the time, their arguments about, you know, why we should get rid of the state and why we should, you know, just fully embrace lazy and unfair capitalism is because this economist says it, and this economist says it, and this economist says it. Also, this economist says that you should not have, that you should not be able to just get the things that you need to survive, and that they should be locked behind a paywall, because that's what's going to be good for the economy. Like, that's literally these people's arguments, like, 90% of the fucking time, if not more.
Authority A asserts that X is true, therefore X is true. You see, I'm not trying to say that my argument is correct because Murray Rothbard wrote it in his book. I am simply stating that he sums up best what I'm trying to say. Visual and
Maybe that's because here in the
Okay. I'll give him that one. I'll let that one slide. I'll let that one slide. We'll be charitable. We'll be charitable.
US, we don't actually have really any say on anything while still being wrapped in the guise of democracy. The United States.
I stand by that. I stand by that 100%. I stand by that 100%. This is what these people do all the fucking time. They'll say, look at how democracy is failing over here in the US. Motherfucker, that's because we don't actually have it.
It isn't a true democracy. Like, that's why people really have no influence or no say. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, again, it's as though he just takes context and just throws it out the window every time. Every time, with every video, every topic, he just takes context and nuance and just says, nope, that doesn't mean anything. That's not important at all. Get rid of it.
Eli, I'm not
I stand by that 100%, by the way.
talking about the US, I'm talking about democracy in general. I explain whether this concept is moral or immoral.
But your framework for democracy, would he not say that his framework for democracy would be, or his I guess model for democracy would be the U.S. and the U.S. government and the way in which we do things over here in the U.S.? Let me play it back. Let me play it back.
In the U.S., we don't actually have
Policy or an argument based on unsound logic. When writers or speakers use appeal to authority.
Oh,
they
also, I
assume
wanted to
that
touch up on the
something
unsound
must
logic thing. Yeah, his unsound logic is effectively he's anti-democracy. I would say that's unsound logic.
be true because it is believed by someone who's said to be an authority on the subject.
Also, notice how in my responses, and in a lot of the videos that I make on TikTok and on YouTube as well, I don't usually cite other people. Oftentimes, the things that I think and my arguments come from me, come from the things that I believe in and the values that I hold true to myself. I don't feel the need to cite another person because I think these things are just and these things are right. I don't need to cite an expert on it because I truly believe these things. And I feel like I can effectively defend these things that I believe in.
Authority A asserts that X is true, therefore X is true. You see, I'm not trying to say that my argument is correct because Murray Rothbard wrote it in his book. I am simply stating that he sums up best what I'm trying to say. Visual and
Maybe that's because here in the U.S. we don't actually have really any say on.
Wait, hold on. Don't be shy, Minder. Play the clip that I'm responding to with this argument. Play the clip that I'm responding to with this argument. I would go back and look at it, but this video is already over an hour. But like, go ahead and play back the clip that I responded to with this argument. Go ahead and play it. I bet you it would make a lot more sense to your audience. Or actually, I shouldn't say that because the majority of his audience are like 12-year-olds with no lived experiences. But I bet you it would make sense to my argument. I mean, not my argument. My audience, the people that are the majority of which you are adults, or at the very least young adults and older teens that do have some sort of lived experiences. Go ahead and play it back, Minder.
While still being wrapped in the guise of democracy. The United States isn't a true democracy. Like, that's why people really have no influence or no say. And this is what I'm talking about.
And notice how I said the United States isn't a true democracy, because if I remember correctly, he did use the United States as like a metric or framework or standard to judge democracy by. And that's why he's not playing the whole that's why he's not playing the clip that I responded to that I use this argument on. He's literally, I'm pretty sure he's clipping me out of context here. He's clipping me out of context. And he wonders why I don't want to fucking talk to him and why I really don't want anything to do with the motherfucker.
Like,
Unbelievable.
Again, it's as though he just takes context and just throws it out the window every time. Every time, with every video, every topic, he just takes context and nuance and just says, nope, that doesn't mean anything. That's not important at all. Get rid of it.
Eli, I'm not talking about the US, I'm talking about democracy in general. I explain whether this concept is moral or immoral. It doesn't necessarily matter the context. For example, if I were to say all murder
Moral or immoral by libertarian framework, which not everybody subscribes to, but continue.
is wrong, I'm not talking about in specific situations, I'm talking about murder itself.
What?
That's not important at all. Get rid of it.
I've gone back on this like and this is why context matters.
Eli, I'm not talking about the US, I'm talking about democracy in general. I explain whether this concept is moral or immoral. It doesn't necessarily matter the context. For example, if I were to say all murder is wrong, I'm not talking about in specific situations.
There he goes with his comfort argument again of murder.
I'm talking about murder itself.
God damn.
In the state. Now, a lot of people are going to be coming down my throat asking me, what's the solution? Tyranny of the minority? Well, I'll be talking about that in a completely different video. If you got...
I don't think he ever got to the video. I think after that, I don't think he ever got to this video. To that video that he said he was going to make. Yeah, I don't think he ever got to it.
guys did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. I would very much appreciate.
He did not talk about this in another video, by the way. I don't think he ever uploaded a video about like what his alternative is to democracy, and it's because I don't think he actually has a set in stone good.
Okay, there's like a minute left in the video. Maybe he's gonna give us his system. Maybe he's gonna give me that fascism definition, right? He's gonna give me that fascism definition that he's yet to give me.
Alternative to democracy.
No, I just never got around to making the video. If you actually want to know how my ideal society works, I would recommend reading Chaos Theory. It's a great short read, and it would explain how my ideal society would work. You should give it a read, Eli. Might be too much for you, though.
In my honest to God opinion, if you are against democracy, you are a fascist. If you are against democracy, you are a fascist. Because it's one or the other. Either the people have to say, or somebody else is oppressing them. And you can't sit here and say that we all just live as individuals, because states are inevitable. People
Like, are you going to? But like, are you? He's gonna laugh, but like, what else? What else? What else? What else? Like, in my opinion, or you're either pro-democracy or you're pro-fascism. I am all Google IT certified. You're Google IT certified. Oh, you are? Hell yeah. If you want to know what I think, read this other person's book. But yet, not going into... what was it? Appeal to authority.
lack guidance. The average person at least, the average citizen lacks guidance. The average citizen lacks direction. So they need, I hate to say this, but many people do need people to tell them what to do because they don't know what to do.
Wow, this man literally admitted that if you are considered lacking guidance, that we should be able to coerce you. And he calls me the fascist. That's pretty much the end of the video.
Chat! You passed your final, nobody? Yay! Dude really doesn't understand the difference between proletariat democracy and bourgeoisie democracy. Literally. Everybody, a cheer for our for the MVP mod though in our streams. Nobody is always here, like in my corner, and they just passed their final and they're Google IT certified. Let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I'm sorry you had to be, like, congratulated in this video, but I just wanted to do it now and not, like, ignore you. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking. Also, he doesn't bring up the definition of fascism. He just ends the fucking video, or at least let's continue. Like I don't. The thing is, though, but the thing is, there are people that do need to be told what to do. There are many people who are illiterate, and do you know how we could reduce illiteracy? Through education. We could continue to educate people. We could continue to progress as a society through education that is not, that is not, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, chat. You guys are always good with this. You guys always good. You guys are always good with this. Education that's not whitewashed. There we go. An education that's not whitewashed. Man. This video was so fucking good. This video was so fucking good. This video was so fucking good. But never once did we get the definition of fascism. Never once did we get the definition of fascism. Do you know why? Because ANCAPs are crypto-fascists. He never refuted that point. He never refuted that point.
Video. Also, I meant to post this like a month ago, but I got really busy. If you guys enjoyed, please like and subscribe. This is also my final video. It was fun. Thanks for everything. I'll see y'all later.
Wow. That was something. That was something. That I'm sorry for the length of this video. That was something. That was something. Mao, Lenin, and the Black Panthers all did literacy programs for this exact reason. Yeah, 100% they did. They did. So otherwise not Utah education. Yeah, the context of hippity hoppity, it's time for chippity choppity versus hippity hoppity, you're my property. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna look up. We're gonna look up this chaos theory. Okay, we're gonna look up and read this chaos theory. We're gonna look up this chaos theory from Utah here, and it's terrible. Oh my god. Oh, and Castro, he did them too. Yeah. Castro did do stuff like that. Like, Castro wasn't the greatest, but yeah, he at least, tried somewhat.